the anion pad. These pads were developed by a team of scientists. A Chinese man engaged them to do that once his mother had died of cancer of the cervix, and he wanted to know more about what was going on, what was contributing to women's health issues, because a considerable number of women have either infections and or fertility issues. So they started by looking at the pads that are already on the market. This would be a fairly popular brand. And the thing about a pack of these pads is, as soon as you open them, this is not a sealed unit anymore. So with the anion pad, that is a resealable pack. So if that's in your bag, it's not going to get dirt in it. We'll look at the pad itself. So most of the commercially available pads are also not sealed, and anyone will have had the experience, if you've got them loose in your bag, that you certainly get dirt and whatever else, bacteria in there. So the anion pad is completely sealed, 360 degrees sealed. You can scrunch. No dirt is going to get in there. So that's the first feature anyway. I'll open up the pad itself. I'll just get that covering off. So you'll notice that the anion pad has a little green strip there, which I'll talk to you about as we go along. We're going to do a comparison between the two pads. So one of the issues with the regular pads is the glue that is used to stick them, but that glue is an industrial glue. It's quite toxic. It takes several washes to get that out of your underwear. This pad, they've used vegetable gum as the sticking agent, and it's also very sticky, and it will take a few washes to get off of your knickers, but it's non-toxic. One of the really big factors for young girls with using pads, and by the way, this company will never ever offer a tampon, because tampons have issues of their own, regardless. Even if they're 100% organic cotton tampons, they'll always leave behind fibres, which can lead to the development of fibrous tissue. And you also have issues with backflow when there's a heavy flow, and that can lead to infections. So there are good reasons why Winter Light will never ever make or market a tampon. The thing with pads, with young girls especially, and their reluctance to use pads, is the actual amount of fluid that they can take. So if they have a gush and an embarrassing moment, that's really going to put them off pads. So this Winter Light pad will hold 3 times as much, and I've demoed with lots of different commercial varieties, and it always hands down holds a lot more liquid. So I'm going to put 25 mils just of water on the commercial pad from your supermarket, and then I'll put 25 mils on the Winter Light. I need an assistant. Alrighty, I'll do another 50 mils. This one's already wet, so you can see it's struggling to take that. And the most anyone will bleed in at a time, they say, is about 80 mils. So we've now got 50 mils on that pad, and I'm going to put 50 on the another 25, making it 50 on the Winter Light pad. Right, let's skip that a sec. What I'm going to do in a minute, when I pull them apart, is drop them both in another 50 mils. Alrighty, so we'll do this again. Press. I've got a little creature, so that is absolutely saturated. That is still dry, and that is really dry to the touch. Okay, so it's comfortable and still dry, and I'll explain why as I pull these two samples apart. Just taking off the top layer of this one to show you what's inside. I'm not sure what the top layer is, it varies. This feels quite damp. Okay, and in here we have basically bleached recycled paper, which again is also going to cause an exposure with dioxins in the bleach. Now my third daughter, I've got 4 daughters, but daughter number 3 would go around work with a hot water bottle on her tummy because of the cramps. Now she has had no cramps since using the winter light pads, and the only time in fact she did cramp was when she was at work and she didn't have a winter light pad. She borrowed a regular pad and she instantly started cramping. So that was her experience. Now with this pad, that bottom layer, I don't know if you can see, it's pretty well impervious, impenetrable plastic. There's no breathability, and I probably don't need to tell people that who use pads, because you know how uncomfortable they are, especially when they're full and it's warm. You don't have that breathability. So there's our it's obviously it was pretty wet after 25 mils. It was saturated after 50. So the winter light pad is actually 7 layers, and they are cotton and plant material. And what I've got here is the first 2 or 3 actually. Let me get that one. So the top is really soft cotton, and when you do this for yourself you will see that it's completely dry. Now the green strip, which is patented just for the anion pad, it's actually a seaweed cotton combo with a strontium embedded, not a radioactive one, perfectly safe, and it actually oxygenates, and the action of that oxygen is to kill off anaerobic bacteria, and that'll really clean out all of those reproductive organs. So it's not uncommon when girls and women start using these pads for the first month to get a thicker discharge as they're cleaning out the uterus, etc. But the experience is that a lot of menstrual issues resolve with this cleansing, and again I can point to daughter number 4 who used to use double up on overnight pads just to deal with the heaviness of her bleed, and she's like, it's a walk in the park now, so it's resolved that for her. This oxygenating strip is also very good for pain relief. The first thing I did when I was sent samples was pull out the strip and put it on my sore shoulder with great benefit, and I put a couple of panty liners in my shoes just because the experience there is energising. A lot of older women will wear the panty liner with the strip because that has the effect of relieving pain. There's a couple of women, my friend Stephanie's got on these panty liners, and they've actually got rods in their backs or fused discs, and they're experiencing a lot of pain relief just through that anion strip. So this is getting back to pulling apart this pad. This cotton layer, this is a soft cotton layer that goes all the way around, so that's helping to contain the blood as well. And then there's a layer of gauze, and then this here is a plant material, so it's actually biodegradable. That bit's actually compostable. But the whole pad itself will degrade in 2 to 3 years. Now, I'm going to just pick that up and pop that in another 50 mils. You can see that's a bit yellow too from the chemicals. Okay, that's that other cotton layer, which I haven't got entirely off the bottom. But this is another feature with the Anion pad, is this bottom layer is a paper plastic mix, and it's actually breathable, and it will degrade. So you can see how easily that pulls apart versus the other pad, which I couldn't even get a tear in. So that breathability means a lot more comfort, air circulating. One of my daughter's friends came into the house grinning her head off going, "Oh, I'm wearing one of your lovely pads, so good." Anyway, so this is the conventional commercial pad, saturated, slightly yellow. This is the Anion pad absorptive material, that's now 100 mils. Maybe get a good look at that. So that's all nice. Jelly, it's not losing any liquid. I could add another 50 mils to that before it was pushing it. So you can see the benefit there. Alrighty. So that's about it for the pad demo. Get some and try them.